Mr. Vellucci.
Hi, my name is Chris Vellucci. I'm with the ACLU board here in Sacramento, along with Jeff Kravitz. Just a couple of points that people haven't made, and that is that one of the things that we're urging at the ACLU, and we spoke about this last night at our regular meeting, is that if this is such an important issue, we would urge the board to consider having a public forum about it. That way we could air some of the concerns that the community may have and that maybe some of you might have, and give you a chance to have some feedback from the community. So basically table the motion or the proposal today and set up a public hearing at some later date. It doesn't sound like this is really that urgent an issue from what I heard earlier that we'd have to make a decision this very day. I was also just thinking as we were listening here that just the simple action of distributing news releases or talking to the news media out in front of the chambers here that happens on a number of occasions, that would be illegal as I read the proposal. So there's a whole bunch of things, as Jeff mentioned earlier, that probably need to be looked at more carefully in the wording. Like I said, other than that, I just had a question. I don't think I've heard it answered, and that is, if it's not such a big issue or that important issue right now, that was a suggestion I heard earlier, then who really proposed this proposal in the first place? It's just an open question to whomever might want to answer it. Thank you.
Thank you. Okay, that's it from the public. Back to staff. Could you answer that last question?
Actually, that was me. I was the one that proposed including some language in there due to a particular instance, and we felt that it needed to be dealt with in a policy manner. But it's only been the one instance that's occurred. In terms of the sticks and flagstaffs, et cetera, that's been a recurring issue, and we've had that circumstance and concern on a number of circumstances, so that one was mine as well.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, my understanding has been there has been some concern expressed from time to time by the security folks when people have brought long sticks in or staffs, and how those might be used. And I think that, from my standpoint, it's reasonable to consider some type of restriction on size or length or something of that kind. I'm much more reluctant to go down a path of starting to say you can't hand out flyers or pamphlets or things like that. Certainly not on this floor. Mm-hmm. We may want to define, use the definition of limited public forum to regulate it in some other county locations, but we run into the problem that Mr. Natoli identified with the Girl Scout cookies and the retirement events and so on. You know, this may be something where we have a solution crying out for a problem, and so I would want to rethink, I guess, structure the limitation on sticks and flagstaffs. I mean, we're worried about people using them effectively as a weapon.
And even not intentionally, but we're concerned when you get a large audience in here and they're somewhat passionate about what they're here to represent, just accidental someone getting hit or poked with one of those, and we're just concerned about the safety aspect in that regard.
Can Mike, and this is just a question because having sat here for many years and watching the sticks be prohibited from coming into this chambers, have we had a problem with people refusing to give up their sticks when asked?
Yes, we have.
Okay, all right, okay.
So, as I say,
how would that work for when the Sheriff's Department comes in with a flag ceremony?
We'll do a citizen's arrest.
That's a county.
No,
It's a county flag.
Oh, okay. Good point.
Actually, how that would work is it would be on its face prohibited under this policy, since the county auspices is as to flyers and brochures.
Right, not to this. So, I mean, I think we need to give this a little bit more work. I think there is a legitimate objective there that at least I'm willing to entertain. As I said, I'm much more reluctant on the flyers and the pamphlets aspect of this. And And it's, you know, maybe we should accept the suggestion and sit down with if it.
I'd rather have us craft something that we want to put out rather than bleh, all of it. If we all agree that there aren't any, that pamphlets and flyers are not a problem, if we just want to talk about various forms of sticks, then that's something else. I mean, if no one's in favor of.
Yeah, no, I was talking about just the first aspect of the, you know, if we could define sticks or flagstaffs or whatever it is in a way that didn't meet objection by sitting down with the folks who are here today and others of similar interest, I wouldn't have any objection to that. But we could either do that with a blank page, or we could do that after we draft something. Either way, I don't have a strong feeling one way or the other about that. I just think it needs to go back to the shop for some more work.
Susan, you have anything to add to that?
No, I'm for the sticks and stones part. And scrap the flyers.
Yeah.
And I don't know, I didn't hear anyone object to sticks and the sticks part, so I don't know that a
Well,
forum
except
is.
for the little tiny flags. So that's why we need to have a definition.
And the sheriff's flag brigade,
Uh,
color guard.
Okay, why don't,
If it's the board's desire, we can toss the flyers, pamphlets, brochures part and get to, and sit down with Mr. Kravitz and others, as well as others, I mean, to attempt to, because we know, this is, you know, it's just one of the things, we know what we're trying to do, which is we're trying to keep those things that can hurt people out of county facilities, and just work on that, and bring it back to the board with some additional matter.
Yeah, and I would invite, and if we're going to have a conversation, I would, besides, you know, casting the net to the public, if that's what we decide to do, is invite the labor organizations.
Yes, I agree.
Because they do come down here, and sometimes they bring signs on
Sticks.
Signs on
on sticks and staffs and
and
things
we don't
like
want that.
No stones in my ears, but
Pennies.
Making a face.
The placard's okay.
paper airplanes,
The placard's okay.
placards.
Spitballs.
Donna, you have something to add?
Oh, no, I think we already just redone
Discussed it pretty well.
part two. As said here, take it out. I'm not supportive of taking that on, but I do think that we could get some definition around those items, sticks or otherwise, that at least make a good attempt at that, and you know, certainly give our staff that oftentimes have to, you know, ask people to leave them at the door, give them some, you know, certainly some teeth to do that with, you know, and I don't know if you can do it with discretion or if you have to clearly define it, but at any rate, I'm willing to work on that. I think that makes good sense, but the second part,
Right.
take it out.
Roger, why don't you make a motion, and send this back to staff, take a look at the
Well, should we
portion of
just
the...
continue it?
What?
Should we just continue it, or do you want to drop it?
Why don't we just drop it,
Grab it.
and you go away and work on it and have some conversation. Come
Oh,
back
on the
when
sticks
when you're
portion.
ready. So
Yeah.
I'll move to drop the item.
Second.
Second. All right, no further discussion, please vote.
Unanimous vote.
Thank you very much.